And let me share my screen. Awesome. And we're set, guys. So let's jump in today. I don't know if Paulo's talked to you guys a little bit about what he's actually going through. Paulo's a good friend of mine, well, has been a good friend of mine for a while back now. I've been actually trying to coach Pablo for like the longest time as a nutrition client, and he ended up reaching out to become a coaching client. But yeah, so one of the things that we're working on with Paulo is creating lasting results with his clients, creating loyalty to his framework, and all the strategies we need to really drive success and build long-term retention with our clients. Do you feel like that's something that's going to be beneficial to where you guys are at the moment? Awesome. So, quick question, just to see where you guys are at. Quick layout, run quick backstory of where you guys are coming from, what you guys have what got you into fitness, and also where are you guys at in your coaching experience? How many people have you coached, or are you coaching currently a group of people, and what's that look like? Something short. Let's not take too much of our time, but yeah, Michael, let's start off with you.
All right, bro. So I've been into fitness for I don't know, probably like all my life since high school, really. As far as like the working out process goes, I got pretty heavy into it. Um, Probably like 5 or 6 years ago, just started doing it more often, mostly every day, every morning or whatever. Just jumped into the Herbalife business probably 6, 7 months ago. Here recently started doing the fit camps, things of that nature, and started coaching. I actually met with one of my first like coach clients today after our fitness camp this morning.
Oh
So that
yeah.
was pretty awesome. Got them locked in. Um, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now as far as the coaching part of it go. I just it's new to me. This part of it is new to me. But fitness has always been around.
Nice. Good to hear. Pablo, how about you, man? I know a little bit about you, but dig in. Where are you at?
Well, you guys already know me. I'm a trainer now, training to be also to be a nutrition coach. Uh, just with the dream to expand my team, and also the guys like can use the tools that you're gonna teach us now. Can't wait for it. I know this is gonna be good for us, for each one of us that are here present, because the three of us, we love fitness and we love to impact lives, and that's what we're gonna learn now. I appreciate the Tatum, I appreciate Michael that you guys make the time to be here, and we appreciate also you, Renato, to have the time and say I'm present here for you guys and for the help that you're gonna give us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for just helping me organize this. And thank you, Michael and Tatum, for giving me some of your time and being here. So, Tatum, I did hear a little bit about you starting off, but just for the recording and just so it'll give me a better idea on where you're at right now with your coaching training business.
Yeah, so haven't had much experience with personal training. I kind of just jumped into it when I moved to Florida last year. Came back to Wisconsin back in August, and have really just been picking up clients doing house calls. I have a few girls that have been training with me for volleyball. They're starting their volleyball career, so I've been helping them with that. And now doing personal training at a local gym here in Madison. So yeah, just looking to gain clients. And again, thank you for being present with us and sharing with us and giving us all the goodies. So can't wait.
Awesome. Thank you. Looking forward to really sharing this. So, just so you guys know a little bit about me, I've been in the coaching space for about 10 years now. Started my nutrition business. Also, I do a couple group training classes as well. I've worked with both in the personal training space, also in the group training space, and also in the online nutrition space. And I would say things didn't really start leveling up until probably 5 years ago, 4 years ago, which was when I decided to invest heavily in my education and connecting with really a lot of the people that I look up to, a lot of the people that I admire. So I've have invested heavily in education through a lot of mentors, Here are a couple of the people that I have that connection with that I really liked working with. And if you guys want to follow some amazing people in the space, guys like Lane Norton, he's super smart and very intelligent in the aspect of nutrition. The guys from Mind Pump, Adam and Sal right here. These guys are super smart in the aspect of fitness. And Alex Hormozy, Layla Hormozy, they're super cool people, very knowledgeable in the aspect of business. My actually own personal coach, Jason Phillips, he was one of the guys that helped me connect with all these different people. But one of the most valuable things that you could do at the moment is really connecting with people in this space, creating these conversations, jumping on Zoom calls like we're doing right now, trying to find spaces where you could interact with everyone. That just propels your knowledge and it really accelerates your experience because you learn through other people's experience, and it's something that's very helpful. Like I said, I've been in this space for about 10 years, but the past 5 years, which was when I really wanted to connect with people, that really helped propel everything forward. I do gotta say, I connected with hundreds of coaches around the country, around the world also, because I do some mentorships in South America as well. And we all do a similar thing, which is trying to help people change their lives. And to be honest, there's a lot of people to help out. There's a lot of people that are struggling. There's a lot of people that we could really dive in and really create an impact in their lives. And this, more than being competition, is like, let's try to connect with as many people as we can and as many trainers as we can. Sometimes we see it as rivalry because we're all shooting for a similar client. But to be honest, there's enough clients for everyone. Everyone needs help. And sometimes you could help someone more than someone else, or vice versa, just because of the aspect of how you connect with them. But yeah, so let's jump into this. One of my promises, these are what we really want to jump in and learn from. Well, this is what I really want to teach within this presentation. So I really want to help teach you guys how to help get your clients results, shed fat, build muscle, but not only get the results, but actually sustain them. A lot of times, especially when I was new to the space, I was really good at creating transformations. But then after the transformation was set, I would leave my client, 3 months would pass or a year would pass by, and they would come back and they would gain the weight back. And I was like, that's not really what I want to do. I don't want to just create short-term results. I want to create something that they're going to be able to live with for the rest of your life. Another thing, how to boost client engagement, how to really connect with them, how to really fuel their commitment. So that way the protocols that you guys give them is actually something that they're going to follow. There's a saying that says, if you have the perfect plan, but you don't execute that plan, even with the perfect plan, it's not going to create success. So you guys could give the best recommendations, could give the best protocols, but if you're not connecting with your clients, if you're not really creating that engagement, they're not going to go far with it. So we're really going to learn on how to connect with them, so that way we could engage with them. And then also, once they engage, once they connect, you're going to be able to consistently achieve long-lasting transformative results with each and every client that you help. Now, guys, what do you say if we accomplish these 3 things during this presentation? Would it be valuable? Would it be a good use of our time today? Thumbs up if you think so. Awesome. So yeah, let's jump into it. So, a couple of questions. First of all, who knows this client? They work out, they eat really clean, they eat healthy, they don't drink on the weekends, and they prefer to use their free time to really actually rest, read, gain knowledge. And would you say this client is successful with whatever transformation that they put their mind to? You could give like a quick yes or no, or a quick thumbs up, actually. I'm watching everyone through the screens. Yeah? So, Pablo, why do you say so?
Because a restricted life like that can also create a stress in the person.
Ah, that's true. I forgot you've been already learning a lot about stress. But yeah, Most of the time, though, if we get a client that's like this, that they already work out, that they eat healthy, they don't drink, they do everything that you tell them, it's pretty much easy to get them results. Now, who knows this client? They work out with you during the day, but at night or on the weekends, they go out, drink and party, and they eat whatever food that comes up to them. Who knows this client? Raise your hand. Okay. Would you say this client struggles a little bit with their results? Yeah. Now, who can tell me what you can do to get this client to get good results? Anyone could unmute and respond.
Do the right follow-up.
Yeah. For them to do what? Michael?
Oh, I was gonna say, just try to get to motivate them to a healthy lifestyle just by showing, um, like what you go through and like before and after pictures of yourself. Basically, like lead by example.
Yeah, pretty simple. If they're working out already, all you got to do is commit to not going out as much during the weekends and eating a little bit healthier, and that they're gonna probably get good results. They're gonna go through any plateaus. How about this client? The client that doesn't like to work out, that drinks over the weekends, and that snacks all the time. Who knows this client? Now, what's something that you could do to make this client great results? Anyone can respond to that.
I think the biggest thing with having clients like that is just being an inspiration to them. Like everyone, if they look up to you and see you as healthy, active, and you live a successful life, like why can't you be that inspiration for them and motivate them to do that, you know? And then just being a good personal trainer in general is going to give them the results that maybe that they're not looking for right out the gate, but start them in that right direction. So
Yeah. And what would you say that right direction is? What would the protocol be for them to start seeing results?
I mean, maybe if they're not in the gym, maybe they don't go to the gym at all. So just starting out one day a week, like that's perfect. Maybe instead of eating out every single night, maybe now they're cooking their meals at home or meal prepping. Just, I mean, those are small wins, but they add up to everything.
Yeah, pretty simple. If you have someone that doesn't work out, that drinks on the weekends and that snacks a lot, just getting them to drink a little bit less, work out a little bit more, and eat a little cleaner will get them really far in this journey. And then who's ever dealt with this? They work out, they probably don't like to, but they still hit the gym. They're eating pretty clean, as they would say, but they're not getting the results that they want. Who's ever worked with someone that pretty much is doing things right, but is not seeing results? So who knows? And Pablo, I know you know the answer, but who knows what you could do to help this client out if they're already working out and if they're already eating clean. And let's say they're committing to the process, they're following the right steps.
I guess it just depends on where they are in their journey. Like if they're first start, if they're just not starting out and they're still not seeing those results, just keeping them motivated to keep pushing forward, because it will happen. It just takes time to get to where you want to be.
What do you say if that client doesn't see results in the next couple of months? They'll get frustrated and they'll stop doing it.
I mean, they can, but it all depends on your coaching too. Is how are you connecting with that client? Like if you're connecting with that client on a more personal level, then I think you would be able to um, help them overcome that wanting to stop just because they're not seeing results. You'll be able to push them forward and keep them moving forward.
Yes, connection is very important. And to be honest, the level I'm at right now with my nutrition company, this is the type of client that I help. A lot of the clients that come to me have already been working out for a while, have already been eating pretty healthy, do all the right things, drink the water, do the basics, but they just can't see results. Learning how to help this client out and applying those to every other client is really going to propel the quality of coach that you can be. And it's going to it's going to set you apart from all the other coaches. Because most of the other coaches out there, they're really good at helping everyone out that just needs to work out a little bit more and eat a little bit cleaner. And one thing that we're going to learn today is that that's not the only thing we can do to help our clients achieve the results that we want, whether that being fat loss, muscle gain, transforming their body, or just generally getting healthier. So that's what we're learning today. Now, Kayla, welcome into the call. I got two questions. First of all, what would you say, like a quick elevator pitch, 15-20 second ramble of why did you become a coach? And I want everyone to think about what their answer is going to be here. Why are you a coach, or why are you going to become a coach, and why do you want to help people out? Michael, we could start with you. And sorry, I'm picking on you, but you're like the first one on my screen right now.
Nah, you're fine. I became a coach because Pablo forced me. No.
So why do you want to help people out? Just because Pablo said?
Yeah, no,
Same.
no, my biggest thing is I lost both my parents at a young age. I lost my dad when I was 4 and my mom when I was 16. So for me, I want to be able to be there for my kids as they grow old, as they get older, and be able to play with my grandchildren. And I think that's what kept me into fitness. And a lot of people in our community want that as well, but are not leading that lifestyle that's going to get them there. So I feel like if I'm doing that for myself, why can't I be there to help other individuals get to that point as well? Before my mom died, she was a nurse, so I was also in that realm of helping others. So I've always been in that realm and that mindset of helping others. So I think me being a coach and staying fit myself and helping others do that and achieve those goals, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to become a coach, not just because of Pablo.
I love that, man. That's a really good reason. Pablo, why did you become a coach?
Because I wanted to create an impact in my community, and I want to build a community of people with the same mindset, be
Why?
part of, like, because I just don't want to be someone that just live day by day. I want to be someone that, hey, you know what, like I said to the guys one day, I want that your kid be say, you know what, thank you to your father that helped my father. You create this legacy, like those. That's the impact that I wanna create. You
Would you say
know.
you want to transform lives then?
Yes.
You want to help people become just connect with other people better?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Tatum, why did you become a coach?
Yeah, so I always say aspire and inspire. So I aspire to be somebody that is much bigger, and I think that personal training just pushes you to those limits for you to become that better version of yourself. And not just in coaching, but in all aspects of life, right? Like that's why I chose to advance my military career and just every aspect. But then the inspire part comes in obviously to inspire others as well. And I think that they just go hand in hand. And if you aspire to be someone that you're going to be bigger and better in a year, maybe 5 years from now, then you're going to inspire others to do the same. So
I love that. You inspire, and then the person that you inspire inspires more people, and that's how you create generational transformations. Kayla, welcome to the call. Very nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
I'm Renato. Why did you become a coach?
Um, Sorry guys, I'm on back road, so if I cut off, that's why.
Okay.
But I had my daughter 2 years ago, and after having her, I went through some pretty bad postpartum depression and anxiety type stuff. I ended up gaining almost 70 pounds throughout my pregnancy and after having Tegan. And then so I just kind of got to a point where I'm like, enough is enough. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So I ended up getting really into fitness and nutrition and just trying to make myself feel better. And I have other friends who, they're in the same boat of gaining weight, just not feeling their best. So I just wanted to try to help people because I know how bad it can feel. And I want to help people pretty much live their best lives and just feel as good as they can.
That's so good. Michael, Kayla, you had a really good story behind the reasons why you wanted to become a coach. Paulo, Tatum, you guys have an amazing mission and vision on what you guys want to do to transform lives. How often do you share that in your social media with the people that you communicate with? What do you say? It's very
Hardly ever.
so. Step number one right now, and this is homework for after this call. Go out there, share your mission, and share your story. That's just gonna it's so impactful because there's a saying, and it's like people I forgot how it went, but it was like people don't know how much you care until no. Paulo, do you remember that? I think I told it to you before. How I don't remember,
Sorry,
but
what was that?
it's the aspect of, guys, you got to show the people that you want to help out why you want to do it,
Yes.
whether you have a strong mission behind your purpose or whether you have a strong story behind it. And once people see that and recognize that, that's where the trust and the connection is built. Because people don't trust until they know you want what's best for them. And we always say we want what's best for our clients, but it doesn't get as deep as when you share your story, when you share your mission. So homework for after this video call is like, go out there and share your mission, share your story, jump online, write something out. And don't just share it to the people on social media, share it to your clients that you have at the moment. Let them know, hey, look, I don't know if we talked about this, but this is why I help people out. And I'm really grateful that I have the opportunity to create this impact with you. And I want to thank you for giving me your trust. This is the reason why I do it. This is my mission. And that's going to be impactful in a way because that's what gets them to refer other people to you. That's what gets them to know, hey, this person has something that's bigger than them, guiding them and pushing them forward. And it's going to help them want to help you out. So share your why, guys. Awesome. So we talked about becoming a coach. Let's throw out some characteristics of what you think an elite coach looks like the best coach, the coach that actually connects, the coach that connects, that creates transformation, the coach that creates what Paulo said, that creates an impact in their clients. What characteristics would you say they have? What characteristics do they portray? Who are they? And we could just launch out some characteristics. Anyone could jump in.
Genuine. I think a great coach is be genuine. They're going to be keep it down to earth and keep it like what I like to say, keep it 100 with everything that they do. So genuine.
Genuine. I like that. Anyone else?
I've always liked using integrity just um, kind of as like a forefront in anything that I do, whether it's civilian or military side. Um, I can't expect my clients to do something that I wouldn't do. And so kind of always just like putting the client before myself. And yeah, I mean, I've shared this with Pablo and Vanessa before too. Like, I don't expect any of my team to eat after me, right? Like my team is always going to be the people who eat first because that's who we are as people. We have the integrity and we have the character and the means to be like, no, we're taking care of our people first before we take care of ourselves. So that's always just something that I've always related to is integrity.
I like that. Anything else? Pablo, Kayla,
I'll
anything?
use the same word that Tatum used. Someone with integrity, because integrity means a lot. It means that you care about the other person. It means you have empathy for the other person. That you're gonna, as a coach, you're gonna create a bond with your client. You know, to get like really personal with your clients in a way that you can create a relationship with your clients, not
Yeah,
just something like client customer, something like, wow, this person when came to my life made an impact so big that I will never want to come back where I started. I want to keep my life just how I was taught by this person, you know?
awesome. Let's share some tasks. What would you say are some tasks that this client that creates, I mean, this coach that creates an impact, that inspires, that's genuine, that's integral, that's has that integrity, what do they do on a daily basis to connect with their clients? And anyone could jump in. What are some ways that you guys would connect?
Show up. Basically, you got to show up for your clients. You got to be there for them when they need you or when they don't need you. Just checking in with them daily and make sure they're doing okay. Yeah, just being there for them through thick and thin.
What else?
I'll say put always the health of the customer first before create any protocol with them.
Awesome. Anything else?
Being encouraging, being that motivation to keep them going when they're feeling down, showing them that they are special, that they are. You know, I tell people this all the time that you are enough because a lot of people don't feel like they are enough for whatever reason it may be, but just know that you are enough for whatever that you want to go through, whatever you want to put your mind to, whatever you want to achieve. You are enough.
I like that. So I wrote down inspire, genuine, have integrity, show up, put the health of the client first, being encouraging, motivating. Now, if you notice, a lot of these things are traits that a client that a coach has to have on a day-to-day basis. And one thing that I tell everyone of being a strong, more impactful coach, it's not in the aspect of just what you got to do, but it's on who you have to become. It all comes on how you live your day to day and looking back on every single conversation that you have, both with your clients and every person that you come in contact with. Are you genuine? Do you inspire them? Do you walk and talk with integrity? Are you showing up for everybody in every point in time, even when you're tired, even when you're exhausted? Are you putting the health of your client first? Are you encouraging them and motivating them every single day? And it's like the best way we could become elite coaches is by walking the walk, not just talking the talk. We said a lot of values here, and we got to make sure that we live up to those values every single point of the day, even when it becomes hard. Yeah, let's jump into it. So, clarity for success. One of the ways that we could first create success with each one of our clients is first of all understanding where they're coming from and where they're actually going. Now, Michael, you said something really good earlier in our conversation, which was the aspect of creating and adapting whatever protocol you have based on who they are, what they've done before in the past. Now, how often would you guys say before you even start working with a client, do you guys actually get to know them in a deep basis? Like, do you guys actually have those conversations on why they're working with you, what they've done before, what worked, what didn't work? So anyone.
Honestly,
Mhm.
I really haven't had a lot of conversations like that. I mean, I have a couple clients who are close
Mhm.
friends and family, so I kind of already knew. But besides that, I haven't really had those great conversations that I could be having,
So
if I'm being honest.
no worries. I was like that too. I used to get someone that would come into my coaching class or my boot camp or my group training class, and I would just throw them in. I would barely remember their name, and halfway through the work, I would have to look up at the sign up list just to remember what their name was. And one of the things that really helps us gain trust and really create success long term for every person that we work with is understanding what they've done before, where they're coming from, what have they tried that didn't work, or what have they tried that did work, but then they're coming back to you for extra help. So did it actually work? If they're still looking for help. So really creating that clarity and understanding where they're coming from, that's going to help out. That's going to help you create the right protocol and the right steps. Because as we looked back here, we had 4 different types of clients. And to be honest, some of the protocols are different based on the person that you're working with. I mean, yes, eating better, moving more helps out. But if you have someone that never worked out before, that isn't used to eating healthy, that just drinks most of every weekend, maybe giving the protocol of training every day, trying to eat as clean as they can and giving out alcohol, that might be very difficult for them because it's very different from what they're used to. So really getting an idea on where they're at in this state, in this journey, that's going to help create clarity on what you could do for success. What I see is whenever we're working with clients, it's like we're going through different levels. So when you get a new client, it's just understanding in what point of this level of success you're going to place them in. And based on that, you're going to create the right protocols for them. Now, once you know where they're coming from, you also got to know where they're going. Paulo, I've shown you the triangle of clarity of goals. Did you, by any chance, share that triangle with anyone in this call? So who's seen this triangle?
Yes, I did with Michael, but I haven't had the opportunity with Tatum or the girls.
Nice. Michael, what do you understand by this triangle?
Basically, that's a triangle of like where they're at right now and where they want to go. And when you break it down and explain the triangle to them, it gives them step by steps on their goals, on what they want to obtain, how to get there, the consistency of it, and how to maintain it.
So a lot of times, who has clients that don't just want fat loss, that want to perform in a sport? Anyone here? Or is most of the clients that you guys have fat loss clients? Tatum? You have some clients that do like sport specific, that want to like be better in the sport?
Yeah, my volleyball athletes, I mean, we mainly focus on like improving verticals and stamina and all of that. So, yeah, I feel like I've had quite a array of different clients. My last client in Florida, she was 76 years old, and then I'm also have trained group classes and stuff with people my age and similar goals that I have. So I feel like I've become pretty how do I say it? Have opportunities with different clientele.
Yeah. So what we notice is based on people's goals, in the protocols that we set up for them, if you don't clarify what they need to do to achieve their goal, and most important, not just knowing what their goals are, but understanding what their goals are not, it's going to be a lot easier for them to connect with whatever protocol you give them. Because, for example, when we're looking at performance, and let's look at an athlete, someone that's high skilled. Tatum, you used to do what was it? Was it sprint work? You more was it marathon or sprint work?
Just sprints, like a lot of relays, yeah, short distance running. Yeah.
So let's look at performance at that level. When you're looking at performance at that level, you probably have to train a lot, correct? And would you say you have to eat enough to fuel those workouts?
Yes, for sure.
So sometimes when we're looking at performance, one more thing. When you win, do you get a prize based on how your abs look?
No, probably not.
Get a prize for winning, for being the fastest.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at performance, we're looking at working out a lot, specific to whatever sport you're doing. We're looking at fueling the body for that sport. And you get a prize based on what how fast or how well you performed it. And I have this where I get a client that is looking for performance, and in my understanding, I'm fueling their body for performance. So that a lot of times means, hey, when we're going to perform, I might have to take your abs away from you. And you have to be okay with that. But then in their mind, they're like, oh, I actually want the abs. I'm not really looking for the performance, because a lot of times people want what they think performance looks like. And if you don't clarify that from the start and you start fueling them to perform good, and their abs start going away, they might fire you. That's why you have to create clarity from the start. And same when we're looking at aesthetics. Let's look at what would be an extreme version of aesthetics. So when you're looking at someone that just worries about their looks, who do you think of?
Bodybuilders.
Bodybuilder, yeah. Bodybuilder would be an extreme version of aesthetics. Do you think when they're on stage, the judges ask how much they deadlift? No. What do you say when they're on stage? Who knows a little bit about bodybuilding and the process to get there? Okay. What do you say when you're getting ready to be on stage? You have the most energy that you could that available for you? No. I've been on stage and it sucks. It's horrible. You're tired, you're exhausted, you slur your speech, you talk very slow because you have no energy. Now, would you say I would be able to go out there and perform in a powerlifting competition and win? Probably not. So, if someone's goal is aesthetics, we have to understand that we're fueling for aesthetics. And they also have to understand what that means in regards to their strength and power and performance. So you get an understanding on what the goal is and what the goal is not. Now, two things that we talked about. When we're looking at aesthetics in an extreme fashion, we're looking at being depleted from food. And when we're looking at performance, we're looking at training intensely so we could get better at performance. Would you say that's the healthiest for the body? If we're eating very little for aesthetics and we're training excessively for performance, would that help you live longer? So that's what we understand with longevity. Longevity is usually the aspect of managing stress and living longer. So when you see the extreme versions of this, living longer, looking as shredded as possible, or performing the best, they're in opposite ends of this triangle. But what are most of our clients' goals? They want to look good, feel their best, and they want to be strong. So it's like they want all three things in this triangle, but they're kind of opposite pursuits in each aspects of them. Now, I do gotta say, most of the time you can't achieve all three of them together, or you can try, but you're gonna hit a plateau at some point in time, which is what usually happens. People look for looking the best, look for being strong, and look at being healthier, and they get great results the first 2-3 months, but then they hit a plateau. And this is where everyone gets stuck because they can't see progress. They don't know how to see progress. Now, there's a way that you could set up goals so that way they could achieve each one in different phases of their time working with you. And that's a great way to keep a client longer. Basically, you might not be able to achieve all three of them together, but you could work on each goal in separate phases. And Pablo, I'll give you homework as in other calls when you're with your team, teaching them the aspect of how to periodize, how you can really set up someone's routine, someone's regimen. So at points in time when they're working with you, they're working on looking their best. And then they're looking at managing stress. And then they're building muscle to create a better, stronger metabolism, to get stronger. And when you do that, when you look at the periodizing model, you're looking at keeping a client at minimum of 6 months. But they always have a strategic goal. And creating clarity for that goal, that's very important on how you communicate with them. Now, a lot of times we set up A and we set up B and we create up like the best model ever, right? The best program. Like you got your food, you got your supplements with Herbalife, you got your training regimen. But what happens? They go all over the place. And I gotta be frank. Most people could go online and find a really good workout program just by typing in workout program. Most people can go online and find a pretty decent nutrition plan just typing in nutrition plan. And most people can go online and especially with AI now and find a way to supplement. Obviously, it's very hard to navigate through everything that's online, but people, if they do their research, they could get there. And what we notice is most people don't have a problem knowing what to do. They have a problem sticking to it. And that's where we come into play. That's where we get them from A to B. And whenever there's these moments where they get off track, we get them back on track. So there's 4 things that you guys have to do to get a client from A to B successful. And we're going to go over those 4 things. And this is pretty simple. The first 2 you probably already know. So how to create sustainable, long-lasting results. Number 1, working out. Basically, having a training regimen based on whatever the goal is. Now, when you're starting off with someone that's never worked out, what do you say? Just the aspect of starting to work out is going to make a difference? Yeah. But then after they get to a certain point, they might hit a plateau. Who knows how to overcome that plateau? Anyway.
Switch it up.
Huh?
Switch it up, change it up a little bit.
Change it up. Yep. And what do you do after you change it up? You let them follow the process. Who here has heard of periodized training? Pablo, I see one hand. Tatum, Michael, have you guys ever heard of periodized training? Okay, that's really good homework. That's going to get you so far in the aspect of how you get your clients' results. Now, that is more in a personal training type of level. The periodized training really is a great way to help people level up. It's basically the aspect of who here has heard of progressive overload or progressions in training. So periodized training is basically you planning out that progressive overload, planning the progressions in a training format. If someone wants to get stronger, you set up a workout plan to get them stronger. If someone wants to get faster, you set up a plan to get them faster. If someone's looking for more endurance, you set up a plan for more endurance. Now, creating the training stimulus is what's going to help them get better. Now, there's going to be an analogy that we're going to use throughout this, which is building a house. So the training stimulus that you guys are creating is basically your workers in the blueprint. That's the signal you're giving the body to create success. And your workers that are going to use that blueprint to create the house. Apart from training, we also need nutrition. So nutrition, Tatum, how would you fuel someone that's looking to be faster and looking for performance?
Higher calorie intake.
Yeah. Give them enough energy for them to perform at a high level. Michael, how would you fuel someone that's looking to lose weight?
Lower calorie intake.
Yeah, get them into a deficit. Now, well, actually, we're going to go over this in the next one. Get them in a calorie deficit, bring down their calorie intake. That's going to help them lose weight. A lot of the times for most people, it means, hey, let's eat healthier whole foods. Let's stop eating junk foods as much. Let's stop drinking as much alcohol to not get as much junk calories in. And that's gonna get them very far. I was on one of those calls with Lay Norton. He showed a text with a very high level NFL athlete that asked him, "Hey coach, I'm starting camp next week. What should I do?" And literally his response, high level coach, athlete at another level, was, okay, let's stop eating Popeyes every single night. Literally something as simple as that gets them very far. But then, of course, there's other ways. When we talk about nutrition, we're talking about calories, getting enough protein, drinking enough water, making sure that they're getting the vitamins and minerals from their veggies and their fruits. So that also goes into play. But a lot of times it's like, hey, let's eat more whole foods. Let's stop eating as much junk foods. And let's look for healthier options. So when you're looking at the training, that's the builders and the blueprint. When you're looking at nutrition, this is the tools that your body uses to create success, and the tools that the builders use to create the house. And it needs different tools. It's not just protein, it's not just calories. It's like getting enough veggies, getting fiber so they could go to the bathroom, getting all these different things that really help them create success. That's going to help them build the house. Now, those two things you probably already knew. Most people know, hey, if we want to create success, we probably need to move more and we need to eat better. And now let's talk about what most coaches need to a little help on to really get them to that next level, which is that missing piece. Now, when we're building the house, we have the workers there. We have the tools there to build the house. But what happens if it rains? Anyone, what would happen if it rains and the workers are there and the tools are there? They'd probably stop working. So when we have the right nutrition and when we have the right training stimulus, but internally our body is not in a healthy state, it's like raining out the workers. You're giving the body the signal that it needs. You're giving it the tools that it needs. But internally, it's not in a healthy state. It's not going to create success. Now, what would be the rain internally for the body? Michael, you said eating in a deficit or eating a little bit less is going to help the person lose weight. Now, what happens if we deprive them of a lot of food for a very long period of time? What do you think is going to happen?
One, they're probably going to fire you. But yeah, they're not going to get the goals. They're not going to reach their goals like at all if they're not eating what they need to eat as far as like the nutrition factor. So I mean, you can eat in a deficit, but you also need to get the nutrition in as well.
Yeah. If you're not eating enough protein and you're in a very deep deficit and you're losing weight super fast, what do you say? A lot of that weight is both fat and muscle. Now, what happens if we lose fat and muscle and then they get tired because it was such an unsustainable diet and then they stop working out and start eating a lot again? Would they gain weight back? Probably. Now, that weight that they gain back, if they're not training anymore, would it be muscle or fat? Yeah. So if they lost fat and muscle, then they stopped doing it and then they gained fat again and they went back to the weight where they were at, but without the muscle, what do you say? They're probably a fatter version of themselves. And that is what messes people's metabolism. That is what really destroys people's hormones. This is what makes the results that they get harder to get every time they do a diet. Most people out there, they do the first diet that's out there, that's very strict, very low foods. They lose the fat and the muscle. They stop doing it because it's very unsustainable. They gain the weight back, but they don't gain the muscle back. So their body with less muscle burns less calories. So the next time they do the diet, it's not as successful. And they have to eat even less. And they do this over and over and over again. And this really slows down their metabolism. Now, who knows the importance of testosterone or just generally hormones in general for someone's ability to create success in building muscle and burning fat? Would you say it's very important? Yeah. Now, what if you have Mrs. Jones that's 40 years old or in that 40 to 50-year-old range, and she's going through perimenopause or menopause, which means her body is literally creating less hormones than what it's used to? Would you say it's harder for them to create success? Knowing the role that hormones plays in building muscle and burning fat? Yeah. So a lot of times, yes, we can focus on nutrition and training, but we might need to focus on making this person healthier first. Hey, look, Mrs. Jones, right now you're going through perimenopause or you're going through menopause, and right now eating less might not be the best for you, especially if you're not eating your fruits and veggies. Let's make sure you're getting the right nutrients that your body needs to be strong. Hey, and you're also sleeping very little. Let's try to work on getting better at sleeping. If you don't have the time, let's work on quality of sleep. Or if you're already good at quality, let's work on how much you sleep. Or, hey, Mrs. Jones, you work out 6-7 days a week and you're not eating enough. Let's work out a little bit less because your body needs to recover, and let's work on de-stressing the body. And when you see these little changes in working on the health state of the body, it's like taking away this storm from building the house. So it's not just training. It's not just nutrition. It's what they're doing in their day-to-day. Are you drinking enough water? Are you extremely caffeinated all throughout the day? Is that messing with your sleep? Are you getting to bed on time? Are you sleeping 3 hours a night? And every client's going to be different. You're going to have clients that are really good in certain things, but then you're going to have clients that are extremely stressed out, but they're very good at living a life without stress, that they don't even recognize the damage that they're doing to their body. I always talk about type A personality. You have someone that works a very high position at a company, and they're from here, they're used to that. And then they go out and they look for the most intense workout that they can do. And they do that 6 times a week. And on top of that, they get back home, they take a shower, and they jump back on the computer. And they don't get to bed till like late and wake up the next day at 5 o'clock in the morning to do it again. And they're not eating well. And they're not drinking their water. For these people, you just have to work on becoming healthier. And that's going to help create success. That's going to help take the storm away. Now, we got the storm away. We have our builders. We have the tools. What happens if we don't pay our workers? Are they gonna want to come to work? No, right? If we're not paying them, they're gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna work. I'm on strike. So this is the aspect of accountability. For workers, a lot of times what keeps people working is paying them decent wages. Now, what keeps our clients accountable? What's that, Pablo?
Results.
Results. What else? Who creates results? Who helps create results, basically?
Coach.
Yes. Now, how do you know if your client's creating results? Anyone?
That's
I
your
guess they can keep track. They can keep track of what they're doing, keep track of their weight loss, keep track of their measurements, all of that.
Yes, sir. Keep track. So with accountability, you have to find aspects of how to keep track of what your client's doing. And sometimes it might need a more intense version of tracking. I have clients that I tell them to jump and they jump, and run and they run, and they could do it. And then I have clients that I give them a list of things that they got to do. And then we talk again the next week. And I asked them how they did. And they were like, I didn't do anything on that list. So understanding the client that you're working with and understand what level of accountability you have to create for them. I have clients that literally reflect on a daily basis. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, we're working on your steps, or we're working on your workout, or we're working on your waters. And snap a screenshot and send it over to me at night. And if I get a night that I don't send him, I send him a message, hey, just waiting for your screenshot. He's like, oh, I wasn't good today. But it reminds them, and they're more accountable tomorrow. So with accountability, we're looking at internal and external responsibility. How responsible are you at keeping your promises? And it's funny, but sometimes we make a promise to ourselves. Tomorrow, I'm going to do this at work. Or tomorrow, I'm going to commit to working out. Or tomorrow, I'm going to commit to this diet. Or tomorrow, I'm going to commit to doing something for my business. But then tomorrow comes and we don't do it. And every time we do that to ourselves, we lose self-respect because we're not keeping our own promises. And a lot of times our clients are in that boat. They've been in that boat where like, hey, Monday, I'm going to start the diet. Hey, Monday, I'm going to work out. Then Monday comes and they don't do it. Or they do it for a certain period of time and then they stop. And they start losing that self-responsibility. And that's where we come into play and we go into building that back up. That's called external responsibility. Because sometimes you see your client, if they say, I'm going to run tomorrow, versus they tell their friend, hey, let's go running tomorrow at 6 a.m. It's probably going to be more, it's probably going to be easier for them to commit to running with somebody else than to committing to just going out and running to themselves. Because they could break that promise to themselves, but sometimes they don't want to break the promise to their friend if they already committed. So that's external accountability. The buddy system helps out a lot. If you get a couple working out together versus one in a fitness journey and the other person that's not, the couple that works out together goes farther longer and faster because they're both on the same page and they have not just the internal responsibility that they're building, but the external responsibility that's helping them push through it. Now, we're that to our clients. We create that external responsibility. We keep them on track. We help them commit to the promises that they're making themselves. And it goes through the aspect of tracking, understanding where they're coming from, giving them the right protocol based on what they need. And it's like going back to what I said from the start. If you have a client that's never done any changes before and you give them a laundry list of things that they got to do, it's going to be very hard for them to commit. So you have to understand where your client's coming from to give them the right protocols to get them where they want to be. This creates a high-level coach. This sets you apart from everybody else. because you get to understand your client deeply. And if you do this with every single client you have, you're going to get results. You have to connect with them. You have to have conversations with them. You have to understand where they're coming. You have to tell them your why and your mission. And you have to ask what their why is. Why did they hire you? Why is this important to them? So if you have your workers, your training, you have the nutrition, your tools, you work on longevity, making sure that they're healthy, and you keep them accountable, they're going to get results. Now, one thing, I asked you one question at the start, which was, what values does an high level coach have? And we talked about being able to inspire, being genuine, showing up, being encouraging, motivating them. And I said, it's not the protocols that you do, it's the type of coach that you become. It's the habits that you have in your day-to-day, how you live your life. The same thing goes with your clients. It's not the plan that you give them. It's not what they have to do, but it's the person that they have to become. Forever results, getting your clients to lose weight and keep it off, it's a cliche, but it's a change of lifestyle. It's on what they're doing in their day-to-day. And that's what you're creating with this. You're teaching them the process on how to be healthy, and you're keeping them accountable. And the longer they're accountable for it, the longer they do it, the more they're going to be able to transform their life and get to where they want to be. And that's ultimately what we do. And ultimately what's going to help you answer those questions that I had in the start, which was how to get your clients to commit, how to get them results, not just from now, but keep the results, and how to replicate that in each and every client. Guys, this is what's going to set you apart as a coach. Any questions? That was a lot. Actually, hey, I actually made it to the, I didn't know if this was next. Yeah, no, this whole talk, it was a lot. We were in this for like about an hour. Sometimes it's like drinking from a water hose. It's a lot of information all at once. But do you guys have any questions? Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here like in any part of what the presentation was there something that jumped out, something that you have a question about? I'm here to answer that for you.
I don't have any questions per se right now. I do want to know that since you did record this, are we able to get like a copy of the recording, or
Yes,
how does
sir.
that work?
Yep, I'm gonna send a copy to the list of emails. So even for everyone that wasn't able to make it on the call, I'll send a copy of the video to everyone so you can look back into it.
For example, for new coaches, like in this case, for example, Michael, what is that they recommend? What you recommend to start when you start working with a client? Like up front, you'll say like, okay, we're gonna work on a 3-month plan, on a 1-month plan, on a 6 months plan. What would you recommend the minimum of the time?
It's case dependent. Something that you have to do, and this is going back to the aspect of understanding where they're coming from, is just really knowing what your client has done before, what their goal is. And when you know that, you're gonna be able to create the right prescription for what you want to do with them. This could come in the form of an intake form. This could come in the form of a conversation. So you could have a list of questions that creates clarity for you on what you will need to do to get them success. Because you could have someone that wants to lose weight, but let's say you do an intake and you notice that before even losing weight, they have a lot of other things that they have to work on. It's like when we talked about here, longevity. If it's someone that's been chronically dieting for such a long time, that has a slow metabolism, that might have hormones, or that might have the aspect of going through perimenopause or menopause, you might need to do some pre-work before they go into a fat loss phase, just getting them healthier, which could be steps like drinking water, getting better sleep. And each one of these things, it's not something simple to do. To get better sleep, there's like little things that you do in the day-to-day that's going to help them get better sleep. Drinking more water is something that you're going to be able to track. Getting better at getting more steps, walking more, being more active is something that you're going to be able to track. So really understanding where they're at in their journey is going to help you understand what recommendation to you can give them. To be honest, most of the time, it's a long-term journey. Like most of the time, I've seen coaches work with clients from anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And one of the reasons why we do that is because we don't create just short-term results, but create results that are good now and that they're able to maintain in a long period of time. And that's a transformation of life, what their lifestyle is. And a lot of times, changing your habits takes time. It's not something that we can do very quick. But I do gotta say, sometimes you get someone that's like already eating well, that's already doing a lot of things. You get that this person here, and that you could like, hey, to lose 15 pounds, you just probably gotta bring down your calories. You just gotta do a couple little things here and there, and that's gonna help you get there faster. So it's knowing where they're at. No, once you know where they're at, you're gonna be able to prescribe what they need to do to get where they need to be. Awesome. Any other questions? Tatum, Michael, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything. Like I said, I'm gonna have a copy of this video and I'm gonna send it to any of the emails. If you guys want or have any questions with any of your clients or anything at all, I'm always willing to help. I love helping coaches. You could just reach me at I'm on Instagram as Renato.Ariaza. So that's Renato.Ariaza, or you could ask Pablo and he'll shoot you a link to that. But yeah, I'm here to create success, to help coaches help create success with their clients. And like I said, I know the value of just being able to connect with other coaches, being able to connect with other mentors, being able to speak in all different levels. I know what impact that's created for me in my life, and I want to pay it forward, and I want to help as many coaches as I can. Awesome. Well, with that, guys, thank you again. I'll send out that email.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Renato.
I mean, I appreciate you for doing it, man. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day for going through this with us.
No problem. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Enjoy your
Bye.
weekend. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Renato. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir.